Looks like this vessel was abandoned.
Someone must have shut down all systems. Except basic life support. Did you hear that? Sounded like footsteps. Somebody set that trap. This whole place could be wired.
Hostile spotted. All clear.
Looks like that machine is keeping him alive.
I'm not seeing any brain activity on the readouts. He's dead. This body is just an empty shell.
Leave him alone until we know more about what's going on here.
You're right. Better to just leave him be for now.
Jacob's not going to make it. His brain was deprived of oxygen for too long. There's nothing any of us can do for him now except let him die with dignity. It's what he would want. I'm more worried about Julia now. She's showing signs of severe depression. I gave her some meds that should help, but I better warn the captain.
say Jacob's gone. They say his brain isn't functioning anymore, and they want to shut off his machines. But Jacob's the only thing in the world that matters to me. I don't know how to help him, and it's tearing me up inside. I just feel so helpless, so damn angry. Dr. Smith gave me some meds to calm down, but I didn't take them. I can't. Not until I figure out a way to help Jacob. I won't give up on him. I won't!
Jacob is showing no signs of brain activity. There's nothing more we can do for him. He wouldn't want to be kept alive by machines, so we're going to disconnect the life support. Dr. Smith is worried about Julia's reaction, though. She can't seem to let Jacob go. The stress is making her implants flare up, causing intense migraines. It'll probably be easier for everyone if we don't tell her until after we shut the life support down. Give her a chance to... Julia, what are you doing here? Why are you...
I will destroy you!
That's the last of them.
You did the right thing, Commander.
Good to see you.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I'll bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating them?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the Psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
What did you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
You mean threaten? Was that really necessary?
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, it paid off. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs. But they wouldn't listen.
Well, it's not worth the risk.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he.
Maybe you're right. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salion?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to... He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart. His idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Saleon, I want to be there when you find him.
What do you want, Shepard?
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried to help. That's why I had to leave.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of... They followed Jarrett. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight.
What did you want?
I just wanted... We didn't have the numbers to go to war. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding. At least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord did not
No.
appreciate.
We met at the Hollow. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
It sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
You must have family other than your father. Don't you miss them?
No. Now that I have my family's armor again, there's nothing left for me.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Oh, before I go, you said you're serving with Commander Shepard now? We saw him on the news here. He's cute. Later, sis.
Tell me you didn't hear that.
Afraid I did.
Oh, shoot me now. One of my sisters. That's Sarah, the youngest. Surprised to see you here, sir. Thought you'd be chatting up, what's her name? T'Soni? Scuttlebutt says you gotta... I could understand why. The crew's off limits with the regs against fraternization. And at least she looks like a woman.
You think I'm interested?
So, you... Of course, what's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to...
Yeah, with Dad on duty so
After
much.
helping raise them, your
Things
sisters...
were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we...
Sounds like a story.
Sarah got her... I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on... They were on Amaterasu. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
If he really liked her, he wouldn't
Yeah,
be...
of course. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods. She levered Mike face first. I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve... I said it was her call to make. That we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
You said all of your sisters learned
Lynn did
something?
pistol. Abby decided they do great things to her figure, though.
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends.
Did anything happen while you were home?
My last day out, Mike. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look. Let me hand. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
That's unbelievable.
Better. I'm more or less a When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. And she hugged him. The Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready, not before.
Your sister's something else.
Dad always wanted... I cannot... For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known.
I never thought I'd hear you recite.
Just because I can drill you, just don't spread it around. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time...
Does he still like it?
I sure hope. Dad passed on, so behave.
You mean from where?
Dead on... That's not a problem with
Your
you.
beliefs are your business.
Just my commanding officer, huh? We'll have to see about that. I should get back to my duties.
We'll talk later, Williams.
Looking forward to it, Skipper.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again.
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Sterins are...
You've still got a long way to go.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use
What's so
for sound.
special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
So are you some kind of heir to the
No,
Corps?
it doesn't work that way. My father's position isn't hereditary. I'll probably never serve on the Admiralty Board myself. Officially, I'm just the same as any other citizen. But it doesn't work that way in practice. People have always treated me differently because of who my father is.
You must get all kinds of special
I
privileges.
probably had it easier than most growing up. But it's not all good. People like my father have enemies, and they're not above using me to get to him.
It must be tough on you.
My people place a high... Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing
Yes,
here...
I know. Our greatest dream is that one day, there's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. We've done our best to study them, but... And all the Geth we run into now are under Sterins' control. We'd need to find... But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
it? Tell me about your people.
Our lives are... Unfortunately, we have had to surrender...
What kind of freedoms?
Well, it's... Of course, we... In extreme cases of population decline...
That's your government.
On map... Fortunately, most captains nowadays are smarter.
So the ultimate...
The fight to do... It's a safeguard that served us well. In nearly 3 centuries, the Admiralty Board has only overruled the Conclave 4 times.
I want to know more about the
I
Geth.
doubt that... All I know is the story of their origins. What they
Interesting.
were. Over time, we made small modifications.
How come the council...
This wasn't the chain... But one thing we underestimated was the power...
So...
Many of the Geth's logic systems were designed...
So there's some sort
No,
of...
not each... But when they're in close proximity, they can coordinate low-level functional processes.
What made them rebel?
As you can imagine, this caused a near panic among my people. The Geth... A general order went out across all Quarian-controlled systems to...
Can't blame
We
you.
had no... The hope. The war. We feared the Geth would pursue us, but they never came beyond the Veil. Now we drift through space.
It's hard to feel sorry.
If we had... Why do you think they cut themselves off from the rest of the galaxy?
They didn't kill Sarah.
What does that... They're the enemy. They want to destroy us. Not just the Quarians.
What was your father like?
It's what... He never... But now I'm old enough to appreciate what he taught me. The world doesn't owe us anything.
Where was your mother?
Mother was around. She passed on about 5... I think my father took it pretty hard. After she was gone, he became even...
Sounds like a tough upbringing.
Like, people count... Come to think it... I mean, I know he cares about me. But he never really showed it. Like what?
I want to know more about the Pilgrim.
This is presented as a gift to the captain of the respective ship we wish to...
Can a captain choose?
It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community.
Can a captain choose?
It's not the best way to make a good impression on a new community.
I want to talk about something else.
Like what?
I should go.
See you later.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Anything you need, Commander? Well, they know about the stonewalling you've had from the Council.
They deserve to know what we're up against.
I'll have a better handle on all of it when my head stops hurting.
Anything I can do?
No, Commander. It's rough some. Besides, I fared a lot better.
Got a story there, Olenko?
You know the records about... After first once we had an embassy on the Citadel, Canadics could bring in experts instead of taking it.
Is there some reason we couldn't
They didn't know where to... Forget trying to get... And their choice of teachers didn't help much.
The only experts
Dead on. They were afraid of what people back home would think, asking the Turians for
The Asari would have been more
Yes,
acceptable.
but the company didn't go through the Citadel. It would have made Earth look weak, so they discreetly hired some Turian mercenaries.
I'm sure Canadics
It wasn't best for us. A real hard-ass kind of spiraled from there, Commander.
Did he ever face charges?
He got his, yeah. But like everything else, anyway, this is it. I should get back to my duties, Commander. We're here to make history, not rehash it.
What's your opinion on the last?
Seems like I mean, if you like the bookish sort.
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Commander?
I get the feeling you want to ask me something, Commander.
Maybe we could pick up where...
Actually, I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found
We don't have the luxury of time.
That is true. You humans are creatures of action. You pursue your goals.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, it is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can.
There is a reason the Council... I looked into your history. I know what you did on Torfin. I cannot even imagine how horrible...
You didn't need to go behind my back.
I apologize, Commander. I wanted to know more about you. To understand what made you into the man you are. There is something compelling about you,
Are you sure you're interested in me?
I admit, you intrigue me, Shepard. But I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Chief Williams.
Williams and I are just friends.
My mistake. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
No, you were
I
right.
knew it. We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost
These things never make sense.
You make it sound so chaotic. So
I'll keep you
I am
safe.
not looking for... This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not
Take
used
all
to-
the time you need.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
I should go.
Goodbye, Shepard.
Yes, sir. On your order.
On my way.
Fire in the hole!
Incoming!
Finally, some action!
Take out those hostiles!
Commander, incoming signal from 5th Fleet HQ on the Citadel.
Commander Shepard, something uncomfortable has just come up. In the First Contact War, we fired a lot of espionage probes into Turian space. We just received a mission complete burst from one of them.
Where's it been in the meantime?
No idea. Lost in transit. These probes were built.
What makes this
When these
uncomfortable?
probes were launched, we didn't have... The probe has a demo. If somebody finds that probe, tampers with it,
I understand this must
I
be
know.
handled.
the Council will call for you. I'm asking you because the Normandy can get on site quickly and quietly. It's in the Voyager cluster.
It's in the Voyager cluster. That's the opposite side.
It's possible. It's also possible it got very badly lost. It could have been...
We'll get on it
I
immediately.
appreciate that. Fifth Fleet out.
The signal is coming from a mine?
A trap. It has to be.
I concur. This did not crash. Someone moved it here.
They may not know what they have.
All right, Shepard. Seismic charge. Someone did that on purpose.
Shepard, at last.
You have me at a disadvantage.
My name is Ilanos Haliat. I doubt you know it. Who do you think runs the Terminus clan, Shepard, huh? Thousands of pirates, slavers, criminals of every stripe?
In most criminal organizations, it's the one who's...
That's correct. The one who kills the most men, seizes the most ships, pillages the most colonies. 3 years ago, I was the strongest. I used my influence to assemble a fleet. We would drive your kind out of the Verge.
You're the one behind the attack on Elysium.
I was the motivator, the instigator, the one who promised glory and riches for sacking the largest human colony in the cluster. The one blamed when it failed. Failed! I was ruined when your kind held against the Blitz. What better way to recover my reputation than by eliminating...
We'll find a way out of here.
Goodbye, Shepard.
What do we do now, Shepard?
We've got air and light, and the Normandy's still in orbit. Get down!
All clear.